Hey 2D Foundations, we are getting started with our graphite shading, which is super exciting. And you are going to set up a sketchbook page first and then move into how to use the pencils provided to do your graphite shading. Feel free to use any other pencils that you may have at home that are graphite shading pencils along with what we have provided for you. Next, you'll see some images of really cool graphite drawings. So here you're going to see a portrait, a still life, and a landscape, all showing really good use of value, the lightness and darkness that you can get from your pencil, and texture, implied texture, visual texture. You will each create a graphite shading page and texture page that looks like this. If you're not sure how to do this and you want a step-by-step, keep watching and I'll help you out. So the first thing that we're going to do is set up our two pages to look like the example online. So you'll want to have a label at the top for your value scales. Okay, and your value scales are 2 columns with 6 spaces each. So if you have a ruler, feel free to use a ruler. You could also use something that just has a straight edge, like an envelope. Anything that's relatively stiff, has a straight edge, will be able to give you a straight line. Now I know, for those of you who have done value scales before, you do not have 12 pencils. You have 3. So you're going to work with what you've got. Get as many different values as you can. So let's say you have a 2H, a B, and a 7B. So the 2H is going to be your lightest. Your B is going to be a middle value, and your 7B is going to be a dark value. So we're going to work with a light, a medium, and a dark for your lightest, a light, a medium, and dark for that one, and a light, a medium, and dark for that one. So really you're going to need 9 boxes. So I'm going to split these 9 boxes into 2 columns. And they're not going to be perfectly the same, but they'll be pretty close. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So I will need a light 2H, a medium 2H, and a dark 2H. This allows you to see the range that each pencil will have: a light B, a medium B, and then your dark B. So this is the pencil that you're using, and this is the pressure that you're giving. So then we need a light 7B, and a medium 7B, and a dark 7B. This is going to be your value scale. Now underneath that, you're going to need a space to shade a sphere and a cone. So if you want to create this inside of a rectangle, that's fine. That's the way it is on the paper. You're going to create a sphere. Now, I'm not fantastic at drawing circles. One way that you can get a good circle is just to keep going around and around and around and around. Or you can, for this, trace something. And your ink bottle is pretty good to fit in that space. So then I can erase what's inside there. You'll need to add your light source. So I have my light coming from here, and then the cone. I'm going to use my ruler to get nice straight lines here. And then the cone has a curved bottom. And my light source is over here. Now we're going to add the space for textures. And those are just more squares. I like to use my ruler to have some nice spacing here. So I'm going to have 4 different textures I'm working with. Give me some space for labels. Some space to do my texture. Texture is how something feels, but in 2D foundations, we really don't have a lot of actual texture. So we talk about visual texture, how something looks like it feels. So this box will be hatching, and this box is cross hatching. This box is scumble, and this box is stipple. And down below, we have 2 more boxes of shapes. Here, this page is all about textures. So I'm going to create a cube, and if you haven't created a cube before, you can kind of follow along. I'm going to make it 4 centimeters. Again, if you don't have a ruler, you can use an envelope. Envelopes have nice 90-degree angles, so you can ensure that the angle you are creating is 90 degrees. And then I am going to create my angles back. These are a little bit lighter, easier to erase, and I'm just going to make them pretty long. Now I'm going to make a vertical line connecting my 2 sides, the top of the side and the bottom of the side. Erase these unneeded lines. And then I'm going to go parallel straight up to connect the back. So there's 1 cube with a light source over here, and then a cylinder. So if you make a cylinder, I start with my oval, and then I make a second oval below it, trying to match the 2 curves. So you want to try and get identical ovals here. Straight line down from the edge of one oval to the other. Straight line down. And then you can define your oval. When we work on our final drawings in graphite, you want to make sure that these lines are super light because you don't want them to show. It'll flatten out your object. But here, when we're just trying out different textures in different values, you can have your lines darker. And the light source for this one is over here. So that's it. Next step is to recreate this in your own sketchbook, or maybe you already have, and then you'll be working on your value pages and texture pages. So make sure you check out those tutorial videos as well.